All right. We're on a new platform, so I didn't really see the countdown go down. But hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Football Fan Zone podcast. We're the regulars, the workaholics, the slaves. We always punch the clock. I'm not saying anything about the person that's not here, but I'm just saying some of us don't have the same luxury of PTO that others have. You understand? So I don't know what package some other people signed when they sign on bonus. They get to work from home, but it's cool. It is what it is, man. I guess it has been a season full of injuries. So Pius has an injury. He's out on injury duty right now.
That's how top of the league stimulus, man.
Yeah,
Can't
the guy's moving. The guy's moving anyhow, man. Now that his team is top in the league, but we're here. Come rain, come shine. It's been some rough days for every single member on this pod right now. But we're here. We're here to punch the clock. We're not running away from it. We're gonna get right into it. First things first. You guys know my esteemed co-hosts, Chooks. How was your week? How was your weekend? How's
man.
how's how's supporting going? If you can't see him fully, his hands are up. We got
That's
him.
that's all.
We got him. A wise man once said, "We fucking got
Now,
him."
sometimes when it comes to sports, you just need to know when to say first. That's just every loyal supporter of any team. At some point, especially if you support a team that doesn't win anything, at some point you just have to say first, man. There's no too much talk. Just first.
Yeah, we'll get into it. I assure you, he has a lot more to say than fairs, but we're gonna get into it. Over the course of the episode. Somebody's smiling. B team went out there and handled business again. A team stopped winning, but B team is still doing their business, man. B for billion team. Uh, Adams, how's it going, man? How's it been being a fan of two different teams at the same time?
Yeah, man. I think you said it best, man. If the first team can get it done, the second team can do it. So yeah, man. It was a great weekend. A weekend of football. As you get into.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all of it. There were obviously games on the weekend. We didn't do an episode this past week, um, but conveniently enough, there were some games midweek, and then there were also games for the FA Cup for those who are still in it, which everyone should still be in it right now because I think this is the first round that the Premier League teams came into it. So, yeah, it was pretty much a very eventful weekend. Um, I think the best place to start is we want to rehash the league as far as some of the fixtures that shaped the top of the table. We saw we saw drop points from Liverpool. We saw drop points from Chelsea. We saw drop points from Arsenal. So at this point, I think I think the general consensus is everyone is asking, will the real title contenders please stand up because it's getting ridiculous at this point. Um, Paris isn't here, so we won't start with Liverpool. Curiously enough, I want to kind of start with Chelsea, right? So that's now 1 point, no, 2 points out of 12, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
After failing to win again this past week. Was it midweek or weekend? No, this past weekend. Midweek was the Carabao games, right? So okay, I've got my bearings together, people. So after failing to win this past weekend, we're now looking at 2 points out of 12 for Chelsea. Um, I didn't get to watch this game. I'll be honest, I didn't get to watch this game, but the general sentiment felt like there was a little bit of scapegoating going on with regards to the finishing. I'm hearing rumblings that people are saying that there's something wrong with the attack, which I think most people early in the season felt like that was the strongest part of Chelsea. So because I didn't get to watch the game, I'm not going to really speak with any authority. I want to turn it over to someone who hasn't missed a single second of Chelsea this season. So, Adams, what's your analysis? Let's leave the title race thing alone, right? Whatever. We're not going to fight or argue about that right now. But what's your analysis of the team? What do you think is wrong? Do you feel like it's just new manager working out the kinks. You're bound to go through a lull. Are there things that you feel like he could be more proactive in? I know people have talked about the substitutions, etc. So what are you looking at? Where are you at, first of all, as a fan, like with regards to your expectations of the season? Are you still good? And then also, what do you feel like has been the issues? And if you want to kind of get into some of the nitty gritty.
So I'll start with the expectations. My expectations haven't changed. It's still Champions League. It does feel like some teams are starting to get on us, and then especially Newcastle. If you look at their form over the last 5 to 6 games, I don't think they've lost any game or even dropped any points. And so and also Man City are starting to get into their stride. And I think Aston Villa as well. So and of course not non-Forest are still there. So yeah, it's going to be a very difficult job for us. But it still has to be Champions League. We still have to finish top four. That's the expectation. No matter what Maresca says, they never told me to finish top four when I got the job. There's the sense that internally and externally we have to be in Champions League for next season. The financial ramifications. I mean, we just have to be in Champions League, long or short. As far as the team goes, I said a couple weeks ago, I felt like if you look at each game in isolation, I didn't want to read too much into it because the Fulham game, we lost the game, 10 minutes to the end of the game, where we felt like we were in control. Ipswich game, one of those games, we rotated a lot, still, which I still feel like, we should have kept the same players. And then the Crystal Palace game. The Crystal Palace game, to me, I felt like we were much more improved in terms of our performance. Uh, we controlled the game, right? I liked the way Maresca set up for that game. One of the things is, can he adapt? Can he be flexible enough? Which he did, right? He did that. He brought in Gusto for Disasi, and then he brought in a kid from our academy, Achipong, to play as centre back to partner Cowell, and he did very well, against Mateta. That in this league is somewhat proven himself, right? He's a difficult striker to play against, especially on your debut. So yeah, it felt like it was different from the Ipswich game and the Fulham game, right? Because the Ipswich game, although we had all the possession, we created chances, but it didn't quite feel like we bothered Ipswich. It still felt like their defense were on top of us. They felt like they were in control of things. But the Crystal Palace game, it was different. We stretched them for most of the game. Of course, we for most of the game, and then we created a lot of chances. And it comes to Nico Jackson, right? And there's always going to be points like this in the season, right? He's going to miss chances, right? He didn't all of a sudden become a world-class striker from last season to now. So I wasn't expecting that. It was always going to be, rosy. So I kind of expected that, and that brings me to the next point of the attack, right? And Cole Palmer is doing his own. I think he's our highest goal scorer with like 18 goals. I'm trying to look at second half of the season. I'm trying to look at guys like Neto and Sancho. I think they need to start coming. We need goals from you guys. We need goals from other parts of the pitch. We need goals from our wingers. Neto, I think there's only one goal to join. Sancho probably only one as well. Madueke has, disciplinary. That's talk for another day. But we need our wingers to start chiming in. We need our wingers to start chiming in those goals. So again, I might sound like a broken record, but I'm still looking at it from game to game. If you look at the whole stretch, it does feel like a stretch. At the end of the day, I never expected this team to win every game this season. I'm still backing the team to bounce back from this. We have injuries like everybody else. Players are out of form like everybody else. It's just one of those things. Of course, there are things you can tweak, but I still feel like there might be a little bit of overreaction. There might be a little over the top. Yeah, I'm still ready to back the team. I still feel like Maresca has everything under control.
So, last week we talked about the possibility that you could have almost like a reverse of a Poch season, right? I'm not saying it's trending in that direction, but it's trending in that direction, right? In terms of like the accumulation of results, in terms of the level of opponent, right? Because if you're taking 2 out of 12 from Ipswich, Palace, Fulham, and what's the other team?
Crystal Palace.
No, I just said Palace. Palace, Ipswich, Fulham,
Everton.
Everton, right? And I'm saying 2 out of 12. That's 2 out of 12, right? I feel like that's you're expecting a bigger point return from those set of fixtures, right? So then forces you to try to turn it around in much more difficult fixtures. So again, so back to the whole, if it's a reverse of Porch, does that affect the way that you're interpreting this project? Like if you start the season as hot as you did, all the way to second, looking like you were in something you had no business in, right, quote unquote, and then you flame out and you finish the season fifth, sixth. How are you feeling about, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
the direction of the team? Because does that then mean like, okay, this is his real level, or was the kind of the early run his level? I'm saying that because as a Spurs fan, last year we kind of had the reverse of your season, where we started on fire, we were super hot, we were second, first, un- invincibles, all this nonsense, right? And then boom, tailed off towards the end of the season, ended up finishing fifth, just completely flamed out, right? So I'm just wondering, like, where would your kind of analysis be if you guys finished that way?
I mean, I think it'll still be if we finish fifth and we make Champions League. I think that changes everything for me. Right? My thing is just get into Champions League. I don't care how you do it. So
Okay.
yeah, if we finish fifth and we get to Champions League, I'm still like at the end of the day we got into Champions League. Of course, I'll be a little disappointed in terms of position because we started really well. But at the end of the day, I kind of knew it was false. I had the sense that we're overachieving a little, and throughout the course of the season, things are bound to happen. Injuries, suspensions, players go out of form, and it's his first season, so I expected that everything was going too well. I swear at some point, and we said it too. We said it to Liverpool, like everything can't just go out this way, right? So at some point, something's going to happen, and I feel like that's what's happening to us right now. And it does feel like it's different from Poch for sure. Um, he has more control over the team. He feels like he has the backing of the fans, majority of the fans, and if anything, I feel like he is able to turn it around. And this group of players are able to do that. And also, January transfer window, it seems like we'll be busy. We'll be busy this January, and I feel like we might getting some more players that might change our fortune. But yeah, it's still a little early, but I still think we'll turn it around.
Understandable. So, someone else that has a stake in the billion-dollar organization is Mr. Dark Horse himself, Chooks. I know things have been kind of rocky at the parent club, but how are you feeling about the feeder club? What is your thoughts on Chelsea and the recent kind of patch of bad form? People are calling out Neto, saying he's not scoring enough goals. As if they didn't see his record before he got signed. I don't know if they thought they were getting a goal scoring winger. This guy has less goals than Gabriel in the league. I don't know where they thought he was gonna just magically download a scoring bag from. But what do you think about Dark Horse? Do you still like them for top four? Because it feels
Yeah.
like it's now more of a top four race.
Uh, Comfortably they'll make top four. And this for like the top four race, it happens. Like you're gonna get these bad results here and there, bro. I think Chelsea have more than enough quality. Unfortunately, sometimes you just meet some teams that they are just playing you on their day, and I mean, you guys kind of go as Palmer goes. He's not gonna have those quiet games often, but I wouldn't be too concerned. It's not like you're pulling up to Selhurst Park and getting slapped for. My team rolled up there and got slapped three in the title in the top four race 3 years ago, and we're still in the hunt. So I I'm not worried. I'm more confident in my dark horses than my actual horses. Funny enough.
It's funny because both of your horses have kind of been galloping the same way.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a connection there. I don't know. It's pretty obvious what it is, but um, I don't know. My view on Chelsea is I think, and I've been saying this. I said this even. This was going to be actually. You know what? I'm going to save this for my listen and don't judge because that was my
I was
original take.
I even know we had one today.
No, I know. Whether it's today or not,
Okay,
right?
okay.
I'm saying like my next one. I'm going to save it for that because I think it's a spicy enough take that I want to leave it for the comments to decipher. But um, I don't think there's any surprises with Chelsea, at least for me. I think again, it's a learning curve in the league. I don't think there's any surprises with Slot finding a bit of of a rough patch. He just put himself in such a good position early on that I think they can kind of withstand this sort of rough patch. And a lot of it is kind of brought on by the players themselves with all this infighting and rumors and the stupidity that's going on in the locker room over there. But um, in analyzing Chelsea, I think we can safely move on to Arsenal and kind of see what's going on the other side of London. Um, so obviously there's preseason expectations. There's been a major injury since I think since we last spoke. Well, I don't know if we addressed the Saka injury in the last episode, but we now know that Saka is going to be out for, I think, pretty much until late February. Is that the diagnosis, or is it early February? I don't know, but I'm going to turn it over to Chooks. Um, they look like they're one leg out of the Carabao Cup and two legs out of the FA Cup. Uh, Second in the league still, and I think they're within 5 points.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think they fully exited that one. I don't know if the fans are still hoping for a replay, but I think that one is pretty much done. Um, but yeah, and I think Chooks and I were talking offline, right, about saying where Arsenal lose is always these 3 game slides, right? And to me, that's the weirdest thing, right? Because Arteta has been doing this 3 game slide thing since he came to the club. And it's like even with the bad team, they have a good run. There's always a 3 game slide. With the good team, good run. There's always a 3 game slide. And whether it's 3 draws, 3 losses, whatever, which is why I'm also kind of weirdly not confident for the NLD because they've had the 3 game slide. And unfortunately, we're game number 4. And usually, game number 4, when all the pressure is off and the world has fallen, they stand up and and they play their hearts out. But Chooks, instead of just asking what's going on in Arsenal, because we know the injuries, we know whatever, the manager's decisions, these 3 game slides, what is that down to? Is that down to the manager's mentality? Is that down to the players? Is this some supernatural? And correct me if I'm wrong, has this been before Arteta? Is he the first manager that this has been happening to, or is this just like a club thing?
I personally, like, jokes aside, I think it's just some kind of coincidence that just happens. I mean,
Hmm.
there's more context. Most of those games that we dropped, right? There's always more context to it. But one thing I will say, like, at least for like me personally, and it might not apply to every Arsenal fan. Obviously, you guys have seen all the things that come out of AFTV. What I would say personally, right, is it always comes games, right, where you just like, as an Arsenal fan, you're like, like, the Emirates home game, Newcastle is coming. You're like, this is the game to go out there, dominate, to win. And like, the players feel good, carry that momentum, and they just go out and they just die basically, right? And it happens all the time. Like last year, remember, Bayern Munich is coming in, they don't have any fans, 60,000 seats, all Arsenal shirts. And we're thinking, yeah, like, this is the time to announce ourselves to the big stage. And we go in there, we score one goal, and it's like we just collapse. And it's the same thing. Like today's game, right? After the red card, I personally, and I won't lie, I didn't really feel interest. I didn't watch the extra time nor the penalties. I don't even care about the North London derby anymore. Yeah, I mean, you might be right. We'll go up there. Maybe we go up there, we win. Everybody starts to say stuff. But like, what does it mean? That's why all the arguments, there's like 900 messages in the Yagonas here. And the main reason why, like, I refuse to engage in these arguments is it doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, the even if the team goes to win any game, what what does it mean? Like, look at the way we play without Saka. Yeah, you hold the ball, you create 3xg. There's no kind of clinical football. And the people that are arguing Ateta in, Ateta out, that's not even the point, because the man too has to hold some blame. At some points today, it's all his signings that are forward. Trossard is there, Jesus is there, Havertz is there, Odegaard is. These are all people that he has brought in, and whether they've let him down or he's let them down, somebody has to hold. And it cannot be the fans coming out here to cry and to complain all the time. Sometimes a wise man just said, you don't have to say first. There's no quality in the squad. And by quality, I mean the expectation we've had is we want to win something, we want to be consistent. And we've seen the only way we can be consistent is if Bukayo Saka is playing. Because you guys told me corners, corner glitch. Brothers, it wasn't no corner glitch. It was the Saka glitch because apparently he's the only one that can send that thing straight to the score. Like Odegaard played like 6 corners today. None connected with any player running. You know that thing they do where Gabriel runs and it goes directly to his head. Penalty. They say Saka only scores where his non 10 GAs. Still cap the penalty to so as a fan, it's taking me back to the end of the Emery era because there's nothing they can do right now to round me in because we don't even have the quality to go on any Fugazi kind of run. It's like if I'm Liverpool or even Man U today, all they had to do was just watch us implode. They didn't have to do anything. The game they played today, they just allowed us to hold the ball and do what we do best. Pass it around, create a lot of chances that nobody scores. And the only thing I would say, right, somebody like Havertz, I think, is getting unfairly flogged today by everyone. And our captain has gone another game where he stinks and nobody says anything, and they just find somebody new to flog. That performance, even the Newcastle game, we didn't have a podcast after the Newcastle game, but our captain needs to look at himself, man. Same guy that collected player of the season over Saka. And with this hamstring stuff, because to be honest, if I'm Saka, right, let's say I get a role at Arsenal. Don't bring him back this season. Bukayo Saka should not be allowed to touch a ball. If we're not going to compete for anything, allow the guy to rest. He didn't get any breaks last year. Played Euros down to the final, came back and he's still having to drag this team across, and he's not even the fifth highest paid player here. Jesus today now ACL is gone. The guy gave us Christmas gifts. We'll even be back for Easter. This particular Jesus ain't rising. The guy's not going to rise. It's Easter period. His ACL is gone. Partey, we don't know if he's going to get arrested or if he's going to get a new contract. Trossard is saying no to contracts. If I'm Saka and Ben White, no, so am I tripping? If I'm Saka and Ben White, why am I coming back? Like, what am I coming back to do? Because obviously the squad is good enough to finish top four. You already know how high it works here, especially in North London. Once they've polluted the air, and now there's no, the games don't have any meaning. Like this is not London derby now, bro. We are as flat as we can be. Whether we win or lose the game, really, it doesn't have any effect because I think we're out of the title race. Personally speaking, mathematically we can be in the race, but man, look at the guys that are leading the lines. And the funny thing is, after the Ipswich game, I remember I said it. I was so concerned that when we hosted Ipswich and only scored 1 goal. The Brighton game too, the same thing. Like we're creating all these chances on paper, but like when you watch the games, like I don't know if you people watch the Arsenal games, like do you think that that's football? And I will give Uzo his credit. He said it a while ago. Like our manager has tanked this project because of fear. Like he this being overly defensive thing has finished him because the signings have not made sense. We chased Tazan for 3 months after the Euros, and the guy is not even any better
Wait.
than
Who's Tazan? Calafiori.
yeah. And the guy is not any better than what we have. Tomiyasu is injured, Tazan is injured, Zinchenko is injured. Because me, like, I'm thinking to myself, right? Was that signing really, really needed? Like when I'm just thinking about it, I'm like, what was the point of chasing the guy the whole summer? Moreno today, I was shocked. They say we had, what was it, 200 and something passes, right, in the first half, and our left eight contributed to 7. Who
Mm.
who else was passing the ball? But yeah, it's one of those things where as a fan, I really hope people would just like I'm seeing all the I don't know if people saw the stuff that's going on in Harvest Wife's DMs. Like people are threatening to kill her and their newborn. And people start to do stuff like this. Even some of the interviews, just vile stuff coming out from AFTV everywhere. Turkish is carrying his big head to yell and scream. At some point, you have to just realize that the owners
Just
don't
got
really.
the Turkish thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The Turkish is like the owners have shown the players are doing the best they can. Because I sincerely can't fault the players for efforts. But at the end of the day, if you don't got it, you don't got it. Like if you're not, if you're not quality, you're not quality. It's like I saw I saw a tweet that said that Arsenal expecting Moreno to be Cazorla. Poor guy was enjoying his mid after mid performances. And so guy is 6'2". They dragged him to London to be Iniesta. Yeah, personally, I have just gone to the point where if they win, that's fine. If they don't win, you just have to take it as it is. Because the team right now without Saka, there's nothing special I can hope for. Because next week now will come, it will be the same thing. Who's or what? You guys will come to the Emirates, will give us the ball. We're going to hold possession, hold possession. Havertz to maybe have one chance where he touches it with his hand. Martinelli will score one offside goal. Bam, bam, bam. Solanke 1-0. Yeah, exactly what's going to happen. You can
That's
replay
not.
back.
That's not.
And then we will now
I
end up
need it. I
one
need it.
goal. Now it's gonna happen. We will now end up scoring one goal, and then the next 20 minutes of the
Arsenal
game
will win that game.
very cagey, very cagey. But if we win, it doesn't like it's not gonna mean anything. It's not going to do anything to the club. If we lose the same time, they're not gonna fire the guy mid-season. What the club should be doing is be proactive. Go and look for some signings. Go and bring people in. But we already know they're not gonna do that. They are going to play these guys into the ground. I saw Sterling beat a man today and I was shocked because I haven't seen it since Saka got injured. I'm like, wow, so you can actually take a man 1v1 and beat him and not pass it back to Raya. Ah,
That was his best performance for you guys. I
man, I
think.
was like, the little I saw,
Yeah.
I was like, hmm. But yeah, it's just you really supporting Arsenal, right? It's just difficult because they make it the fans make it easy. The club itself makes it easy. Like, look at all the content that has gone around today. The club. I'm saying, like, I was telling guys, my last year doing. This is my last year doing this kind of like, and they, to be honest, they've won me out by January. I can't come here and bring out chest for any player on my team. You guys can do that. The only guy I could do it for is injured. See how Zexi mixed up Saliba today. I was shocked to the bone. I was like, nah, there's no way someone that was crying when subbed him out. Literally, how many weeks ago did they sub out the guy? And now I'm hearing he was doing gunshot celebration when we were doing all white party. This one was looking like a Diddy party here, man. He told us to wear all white to come to the stadium. Yeah, man. It's tough. It's very, very tough. I don't know how someone can keep doing this, especially if you're the kind of fan that wants to argue and like put your team in those spaces. It's just difficult
Yeah,
because
it's
now
really
we're out of the FA Cup, out of the Carabao Cup. For sure, we're not going anywhere in the They need to draw us like Inter Milan or something in the next round. Let them just make it quick. So yeah, put the third place in the bag, man. Next season, go
Adams, do you want to take this one?
Hey man, see. First of all, Uzo, you're so right. You're so right about this now. Look, I didn't think it was going to be this early. I didn't think it was going to be this early. I expected them to at least win one of those cups. Football is. In our last episode, we're over here flogging. We're counting how many goals Manchester United was going to lose by against Liverpool. And they turned up against Liverpool and see what they did against Arsenal. So that's the thing about football; it can change very quickly, even for Arsenal. And but watching Arsenal, over the past week, it's been so strange. It doesn't feel like like Chooks was saying, yes, they have these chances, which to me, some of them feel like half chances. There's no cutting edge. It just feel like they keep passing, and the over reliance on their wingers in this system is what's killing them. Because those wingers
Mhm.
are clearly not good enough. I saw Martinelli try to get past Ahmad today, and he couldn't. That was just incredible. I'm like, bro, what's this guy doing?
I mean,
And
the guy hasn't beat the man since the Buhari administration, man. At this point, nothing really shocks me with him. But go on.
yeah, and everything was just in front of Manchester United. It felt like Maguire had one of his best performances in the Manchester United shirts. The leads, like
Massive.
yeah,
That block was massive.
yeah, it was, and they still, they brought in Lenny Euro, who also did a good job, and the midfield. What happened to Arsenal's midfield? What happened to
Yeah,
the midfield? Like, they,
but Adams, I don't think anything happened. It's still was it Boa constrictor or whatever. The midfield is fine. I think the whole problem is what is happening up top. Because I mean, teams will give us the ball and we'll hold it. The midfielders know how to. One thing I saw us do so well today was we didn't give United too many chances to even counter. We close it up quickly. We hold the ball, recycle, and yeah, you're right. It does have chances. I don't even know what to call it. Where nobody can just finish or has an idea of what to do. Ah, it's just so interesting to watch.
and
Like,
and the funny thing is, like, this set of players, right, were the same set of players from like what 2, 3 seasons ago. When you guys were playing that free flowing football. So it's strange to question the personnel, so to say, right? And it just feels like Ateta himself drew the team backwards because you guys have still the same players. I remember when Trossard was scoring goals for fun. Martinelli was scoring goals for fun. Okay, maybe Havertz is not himself, or Havertz is not a striker, but still, at some point last season, he was banging in goals. And you talked about the running during the running. He was looking unplayable. So what happened since then?
the person that was making all of them look unplayable sliced his hamstrings and he's no longer here. Plus, I mean, we don't have that X factor anymore. Like our captain, especially, cannot just. Sometimes I remember like KDB, right? One of the best playmakers, probably maybe we would say arguably the best playmaker in Premier League, at least from the 2010s. But remember KDB when it comes to just flogging the ball and getting important goals, we don't have anybody that can do that. That can just forget all these intricacies, right? I'm just he. There was a chance Odegaard had in the Ipswich game or the Brighton game that I'm like, I want to see this more. Way instead of passing the ball right to the wingers and trying to play out wide, he just runs down the middle. And led as you are saying, like Adam said it correctly. As a defender, right? I want to face you. I don't want to be running back and my back is turned. The way Arsenal play, the defenders are always looking forward, so they know where everything is. Because you're going to play wide and they can scan everybody. But when you're running at them, they have to turn back. Everything has to be a little bit disorganized because that's what Saka does. Saka knows how to create chaos by himself, but our captain for some reason just doesn't have it. And again, it's the main reason why like fans that are letting this thing get when you become too emotional about it, it's like I think you just accept that some people don't have it. And that's where like is a deeper conversation than even talking about our form is. Someone has to be held accountable. At the end of the day, football is a results business. Someone has to be held accountable because some of the signings I'm beginning to really reflect. Someone like Calafiori, I want to know why. Like maybe that's why Edu left. Who knows? Like I really want to know why was he signed. Like I don't know if you guys have ever brought someone to your club and you're just trying to find the reasoning. Like why? Like it's not as if you don't have defenders. So the worst part is you now have an academy boy that has even benched the guy. So it's not as if he's the regular starter now. When you have all these attacking issues and now his ACL is gone, So now we're down to just three attacking players right now.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was strange. At
It's
the start of the season, you guys signed. How many defenders did you sign? I think
so we
like
signed
some.
Calafiori, Moreno, Sterling,
Yeah,
and a goalkeeper that can't even play. Don't know if we ever even see the guy play. Nah, it's very, very interesting right now.
See, for me, in this take economy, man, when you have a good take, you have to plug it into the ground. And the one thing that I can say for a fact is my three kind of concerns about Arsenal this season are coming to fruition all in different ways, right? Because one of the first things I said was, is it possible that Arsenal could also have a title hangover, right? Like we've seen it in the NFL, two teams go to the Super Bowl, one team wins, the other team loses, right? But they both come back in with the same exact issues. You both played the same amount of games. You both played the same length of a season. You both have the same tired legs. You both played the same level of intensity. The only difference is the loser comes in with added mental depression on top of the fact that they're physically fatigued. The winner comes in physically fatigued, of course, but they don't have that kind of mental blockade of like, oh, we didn't get it over the line. There's the excitement, there's the desire to do it again, to get back at it. And I feel like going toe to toe with City, right? In back to back years, in kind of the way that they've done it, is the same equivalence of these are long, draining, difficult seasons. Your last 10 games, extremely hard, including down to the final day game that they had, right, against Everton, where you could almost start to see on the final day, right, in that Everton game, there was already heavy legs, there was already heavy minds. Because it kind of took them almost all the way onto the end of the game to get the game over with and win. And of course, the manager took the mic after the game and reassured them that this was just going to push everybody to come back and fight harder. And it's easy to say that. And a few players did come back hungry and angry, and wanting to put it right. Guys like Saka, guys like I think Odegaard for the start of the season,
yep,
guys like Saliba, Gabriel especially came in
yeah.
hungry, desiring to get this. But there's a few guys who didn't. I think number one on that list is Declan Rice. He hasn't been anywhere near the same player. He has not been anywhere near the same player. And it's not even about his performances. His performances have been okay. But last year, we were talking about him as the difference maker, the guy that has taken him to this next level. The reason why they can like actually look at the landscape and say we can be the best team in the land. And his attitude has not been the same. And there's a few players whose attitude have not. I don't think Odegaard in recent time now his attitude has been the same. So I wonder if and I was saying it. I'm like I think it's fair that it's really hard to get back up to speed after going toe to toe twice, and then you start another long season of 1 out of 38 games, and
And
every game is hard,
especially
and
lose
and you're
like
just like, doing this again, and then now here comes Liverpool, and you're like, are you serious? These guys are finally bad, and there's this random team who used to be one, and I can almost excuse that. Of course, banter is banter, and we're always going to throw banter at Arsenal because at the end of the day, they came close, they didn't get it done, and football is a cruel sport. You get judged on that alone. But just from the psychological like aspect, it only makes sense that it's difficult. And then considering how fortunate they were with injuries last year, where they had some injuries, but there was nothing really debilitating towards the team, where like a major guy was out for months. I think Saka missed like 2, 3 games. Odegaard missed like 4 or 5 games early in the season. Throughout the run in, everybody was available, everybody was fit, everybody was firing.
Yeah.
So you don't get that same kind
Yeah.
of injury luck back to back. You don't. So there's almost so many different things that you almost kind of expect it to happen. And this is where I now look at the recruitment. I'm like, you have to be able to predict this. The players cannot predict this. They're not in charge of squad planning and squad building, right? This is somebody that needs to take a step back, look at the landscape. Which are the players that are aging out? Which are the players that might not be up for the fight? Which are the players that need replacing? Which are the areas of the field that need improvement? Go get an attacker, go get this, that, and the third. And I thought the window was absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And then that's where it now brings me to the manager. And this is the one take that I've had this year. And I kept saying it. And I said, maybe I'll be right. Maybe I'll be wrong, right? I think that there's an identity crisis at Arsenal. You can tell he revamped Plan A after the very first season of challenging because they didn't get it over the line because they lost Saliba. And he felt, okay, I can't play that style without Saliba. So we're just not going to play that style at all in case he gets hurt and we won't be able to sustain it. So we're just not going to play it that way ever again. We'll play this boa constrictor style. He debuted the boa constrictor style last year, found extreme amounts of success. They broke more records, scored more goals, got more points, got even closer. They got it all the way to the final. So you can say, you know what? Credit to him. That's a good move. Then you come this year because you don't get it over the line with the ball constrictor style. You now want to reinvent the wheel again with this corner glitch thing where they almost did not put any emphasis on open play chance creation and they just played for set pieces instead. There were so many games where you can see Arsenal being passive, deciding not to be incisive in their passing, decided to spread the ball through the wings, get the overloads, get the corners, and the fans would cheer for every corner. And again, all of these things are all hindsight. If they won the league, no problem. But I just feel like going away from your plan A so early in your process, to me, felt like a massive overreaction. And it's now created this team where you have guys who are from that era, guys like Jesus, guys like Zinchenko, guys like Jorginho. They're from that era of nice, free-flowing football, interchanging, inverting the fullbacks, all of these chance creation madness, right? Jesus being able to play right back, go up to forward, all of that. It was all working, right? So you have those guys. Then you have the guys that you bought for the ball constrictor style, guys like Declan Rice, dual winners, right? Guys that are just all about recycling possession, keeping the attack going, whatever. Cool. Then now you have the guys that you bought for the set piece glitch, guys like Marino. Uh, and so it's like the team is like a Frankenstein in a weird way. It's like, what is the identity of the team on any given day? Is if it's one of those things where, okay, depending on the game, you're gonna have a different approach. I'm gonna say A1, good job. But the reality is, it feels like they play every game the exact same way. Every opponent the exact. You're playing Ipswich, you're hunting for corners. You're playing United, you're hunting for corners. You're playing City, you're hunting for corners. That to me, this is the same thing I criticize Ange for, being completely unaware and unadaptable to the opponent. I feel like Arteta has gotten to the point where he feels like he's found such a steady like tactic that he's never going to vary it ever again. And what he's then done, he's stagnated the team and he's created an identity crisis within the team where certain players aren't necessarily suited for that style, but they're having to play it anyways. And the third thing is the vibes. And I've been saying this since. I'm like, this is we made fun of them for parading Kai Havertz after his first goal, which was a penalty, singing Waka Waka AA. And fine, we're right to make fun of them. We made fun of the huddles. We made fun of the camera on the pitch. We made fun of all that. But those were part of the vibes that made this team continue to challenge. I've seen none of those vibes this year. There's no Waka Waka AA. The goal celebrations, honestly, are almost like, we're professionals, we're routine, robots. Oh, don't over celebrate because we got laughed at for celebrating against Porto. Let's not celebrate anything. Everything just feels so. It feels like the team has now become too professional, and this is something that was a positive, was a great thing. I said, from where the dressing room was with Oba and Laka dancing and doing galala and showing their grills and their jewelry, to now the team looks like a bunch of professionals. Cool, but I feel like they've now overcorrected. There's almost no culture in the team anymore. There's no vibes. There's nobody that can break the mold. It's very telling that the only guy who has even really showed any invention since Saka went down is Waneri. He's the only one that's kind of broke the mold. You see him carrying the ball. His carry for that goal that he scored against
Brighton.
forgetting who you guys played against Brighton, that was what allowed it to be a goal. Because everybody else would run down the byline, cut back, and try to find a pass or find a corner or something. He just realized, I can carry this ball, and then he saw a shooting angle. These are the kinds of things that happens when you break the mold. So I've heard Arsenal fans say that the team is overcoached, and I tend to agree with that sentiment. I think the manager has overcoached the team now to the point that there's no individuality, there's no thinking outside of the box. Nobody's breaking the monotony of pass move. Sorry?
Football is these days, right? Isn't it? That's the whole thing with Pep too.
I think people say that about Pep, but you see a guy like De Bruyne, and we take it for granted. We're like, oh, but that's De Bruyne. We've seen Pep flog guys that have higher status than De Bruyne if they don't follow his patterns, right? So it tells me that there's room within his system for players to have individuality and creativity. You just have to have the cachet and the consistency to earn that kind of trust. In Arteta's system, who's the person that has that license? It's Saka, right? Saka's the only person that has that license. And
Odegaard too does.
I think Odegaard has been massively limited.
No,
I think he's been limited. I think he's the one that suffered the most from the change in system.
Nah, no. I don't think so. Especially after watching the Ipswich and the Brighton. Even today, too. I mean, today they say was the first time in how many games he's had double digits created chances. I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I think the problem comes down to there's there's no scoring threat. Like, and you know also, man, from playing soccer. Once you know someone can't score on you, man, you
Yeah,
are willing to. It's just like, I mean, Alan doesn't play 2K, but in 2K, this thing where if someone can't shoot, yeah,
you back off them. Yeah,
you're gonna give them all the shots they want because you know that they are not gonna be a threat. And I think that's also what's affecting.
it's why I always said like people said, um, people like guys like Kai Havertz, Werner, Brennan Johnson. They say, oh, people complain about their finishing or their XG or whatever.
Terrible list to be on.
You said what?
That's a terrible list.
No, but the thing is, Kai got off that list for half a season, but he was on this
When
before he got to Arsenal.
Nah, that's crazy.
I
And,
think
and,
I,
you know,
I
No,
think
no, no. I'm talking about chance conversion, not ability of the player. Chance conversion. People say that players like that, right? The argument is always, oh, but if you put somebody else there, they won't be in those positions. Look at their movements. They created the chance by the way they move. No, the defense allows you to get those chances. Of course, Chooks knows
so,
if you're a center back,
so they just,
you look at the three attackers. You know who you're going to close
yeah,
down
you know
fast.
who you want
You
to
know who you're
cover.
going to allow to turn. You know who you're going to allow to make. You always have to make a choice. Always, you always have to make a choice. There's times where I've seen defenders literally look at perfect example, the most classic defending piece of beauty we've ever seen. Right, I got praised to eternity. Van Dijk when Sissoko and Son were running through on goal. He made a business decision. You know what? I shouldn't back off the ball. I should always take ball as a defender, right? And establish a point of contact. But because it's Sissoko running with the ball, I'm sorry, I'm taking man. And he ran with Son, right? Allowed the guy a free shot on goal. The greatest defensive piece ever, right? So my thing is, defenders always know. That's why I don't subscribe to all this. Oh, his movement, he
Nah,
adds this. No, he's just bad at finishing. That's it.
all that is just copium. And I am willing to eat my own humble pie. One thing I would say, right, is
we have to argue about that Kai Havertz word, Chooks. But
yeah,
We do, we do.
I'm here. Flog all you want. And to be honest, what made me really think about it is remember Isak's goal against Liverpool. He gets the ball in space, he looks up, wham, he just take. And I always think to myself, is there anybody at my club that can just
I
replicate
did the
that?
same thing. Yeah.
You know, and with sometimes with me, right? I'm not even thinking, oh, the thing should enter. But it's like I don't think I see Havertz in that situation. Think, oh, let me just have a go at this. I don't remember last season. Remember that Tony chance against Ramsdale that he got the ball and he just took it once. You know, like sometimes when you see your striker do stuff like that, it's not like they know they are going to score, but they just have that
He's a big
confidence that
skit. Yeah.
it's like some of Kane's goals. It just comes from the guy just has the confidence that this ball can go in, so he's just gonna attempt it. So the hardest thing like today, right? You'll be hearing words, so many big words about how movement. And to be fair to him, he's an industrious guy. Like I've never watched the hardest performance and came out thinking the guy did not give it his all.
But that's
Like
usually what those type of guys.
no, but I'm saying like like there are some guys that just give up. Like they are having a bad game, they're having a bad game. Like the guy created the lead clearance, and I came from him passing the ball to Trossard. But I think where I'm willing to eat some humble pie is I don't think he's ever going to be that consistent, nine or that like nine that is going to just you see what Isak does, right? Or what Haaland can do. I even saw the Sesko goal today.
Mm,
He
mm,
can
mm.
just create magic from so far out because I think Havertz needs to be in the box to create any kind of magic, if you call it magic or juju, whatever the hell he does. But they are just guys that, and that's what I think me and Oza are seeing eye to eye on it. As a defender, if I know you have to be really really close to me to to do damage, ah, I'm willing to allow you to stay far. Like I'm not gonna run out of the box to come and close you down, which leaves all that hole. In a way, I also feel bad for Odegaard. Is he has all that space. The problem with him is he's not going to run into the space. Odegaard will still try to force those cheeky 1-2s. Sometimes I don't know if you notice with our game. Sometimes those guys are passing and there's nobody pressing them. You can sit 7 guys in that low block and we can't break it because one, nobody shoots in this team. I can't remember the last time we scored the goal from outside the box. Nobody shoots. That Waneri goal was a breath of fresh air. Because if that's Martinelli in there, he's looking for, he's trying to look for that pass down the middle. Like, is the injuries, I think everything is just boiling down, which is why normally, right, if we had, let's say we had won the league last season, you have some money in the bank to kind of be like, come on guys, let's get behind the players, let's be this one, this is a tough time and you want to build players, but I think the fatigue is even hitting the fans too. Because me personally, what am I, what am I backing? Another trophyless season? Because whether you finish second or you finish fourth, it's the same Champions League everybody is going to. Like there is no. I'm thinking if we had won that Carabao Cup game, man, I don't even care about today's result. Count. Like we have a chance to win, and I'm on my knees. Uzo is saying he won't build a statue for Ant for Carabao. Me, I will go and mix the cement for the statue. I need something. And as it is, we're not going to get anything. So what's the point of backing multi-million dollar men? You guys are going to go back and enjoy their evening. The same happens that has his head down, crying, whatever. Guy, you're going to get your paycheck. Wednesday now, you score one nonsense goal. They will now be singing 60 million down the drain. Everybody will now forget all this harm that you've caused. At this point, my advice for all the gunners that tap into football fan zone, please guys, don't let it get to the point where you can't eat or you're going into someone's wife's DMs to say you're going to kill their baby. To be honest, football is really not that deep when it comes down. Let's all banter and have
I,
fun.
I don't I don't even think that's something you need to tell someone and say like don't do
What?
that. If you're doing that, keep doing it, and I hope you get your just desserts. Because
Because it's
that's no,
crazy.
because if you're that kind of person, then yeah, there's no saving you.
Like
If that's your first thought,
if,
after you lose a game of football, then there's no saving you.
like flog the guy for his performances, whatever. Even the fans too. Like AFTV, I've not really watched any full episode. I've seen clips, and I'm like, guys, man, you cannot and you cannot let it get to that point. Like I'm looking at Turkish, right? The guy might be developing some high blood because this team is putting him through so much. I know he's already a very choppy guy, but at the end of the day, if you know your club, right, you know they're not going to sign anybody. So what's all the crime for? We know what's going to happen. So let's just go back to let's take it week by week. So now, okay, we have the North London derby right on Wednesday. Just go there, clap if they win, fine, all well and good. Don't let's not if we win one game now, everybody will now pretend like the team has been good because it's not. Until Saka comes back, there's nothing coming out of N5. Every game right now is just for pride. If the players have any pride left,
Yeah, I think Arteta is gonna and the interesting thing with regards to the end of this season is if Arsenal end the season trophyless again, right? Which of course is not set in stone yet. As much as people want to pretend it is, it's not set
I
in stone.
feel like that Carabao Cup is still going to be a game, though.
No. The Carabao Cup is done. I'm still looking at the league
man, the
because
Carabao is done. St.
because I've
James's
seen.
to
I think
score three goals there.
yeah, no, that's not happening.
Yeah,
That one I can
it's
comfortably
done.
say. But if they end the season trophyless, maybe he doesn't get sacked, right? I don't think he will because I don't think the ownership is going to abandon the project so early. But I wonder what he's going to try to reinvent. You know what I mean? Over the summer, like if you've overthought so much in seasons that have been a bit more successful than this season, this kind of failure, what will it push you into?
But to be honest, our problem, out of all the teams, right? I feel like we have the easiest solution to this point.
Here's a
If I'm the owners, right, the first thing I'll do is to remove any player recruitment out of the manager's hand. Don't even ask him what he likes. Just give. I think that's what City does with Pep. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, right? Whenever players talk, like when Calafiori signed, like, oh yeah, Edu and Mikel, that he was talking to them for 3 months, Mireno, even Kai too. Apparently, Kai was talking to Mikel towards the end of the season with Chelsea. So he had already started talking to Mikel before the whole thing became But I don't hear it with Pep. I don't know if that's how it works for you guys. Like, if the managers have like a very big say
So
in who comes in.
Pep does. So
Is
Pep has
no
those.
Mikel's eye for attacking talent. What is even flowing me is this team walked away from paying that Sesco release clause and managed to drop 40 something to 50 something million on Kazan. Yeah. I That particular transfer, I'm gonna have sleepless nights on that particular transfer. Like, you walked away from signing is even the guy from Sporting. Like,
Oh, Gyökeres.
go and drop money on someone that can change your life. No, you went to go buy a left back. So I think that's what, because I think tactically, right? Even today, for what is worth, the numbers show that Arsenal is a dominating team that's creating chances, and we don't concede as much as we create. Obviously, we have very poor luck in terms of whenever teams see their first chance, they end up scoring. But while we're doing everything that you expect the team to dominate to do, why not just go get someone that can, help the attack look better? Because really, all it takes is one player in any sport. I think, in basketball, all it takes is one player to change how a team looks. Football, American football, anything, like, you have that one player in each. In soccer, it's different because you have different phases. You have that one attacking player now. Let's say like Saka, right? Why don't you go and get him some help? So let's have two. Like, look at what Mane and Salah did for years. Literally, you could have put Yakubu in the middle of those two guys, and he'll look like sliced bread. Martinelli has not lived up to expectation, and that's nothing to also hate about teams that are not used to winning. We know how to hold on. We know how to hold on. Like, I'm always jealous of how Chelsea fans can move on from players very, very. They move on from managers quickly. They move on from players. Even the owner. I don't hear anybody talking about Abramovich anymore. If fans would have been talking about him for the last 4 years. Like someone like Martinelli, right? Why is he still here? A serious club would have found a way to move on the guy since, or maybe he's not a starter because clearly he has not lived up to expectation. But us, we're, we're gonna flog the guy to try and be something he's not. Like Adams, imagine Trossard is saying no to contract extension. Like, who is this guy? Why are you even still here? Someone that was time face because they did not start him. Ah, yeah, bro. It's so many things that go into it that when you really think about it, you're like, I can't really put too much, invest too much emotion into this thing because the club itself is just not that serious yet. And that hangover is true. Like, the players look like they just need a break.
I was on the phone with an Arsenal fan, right, watching the game, right, and I was telling him, like, I don't even want to, like, overread into body language, but that United game, it legit looked like they didn't want to win.
Bro, we didn't.
Like there was no effort. It just felt like they were just kind of going through the motions, like, okay, let it look like we tried. Then they'll cross a ball in. It was really strange. It just felt like, and United love these kinds of teams. They love them. They love, I mean, these kinds of games where they can pretend like this is their season, just keep conquering, or like when United gets you in this kind of game, you're done.
Yeah.
This is all they live for. This is all their season. I'm not even trying to diss, but when your season is in tatters like this, and you can get a nice little mid-season cup game that is really meaningless, but against the team that can try to
Yeah.
just
And you now drag it. And that's the only thing that really pissed me off is I would have preferred we lost this game to any other team. But it's the manner too we lost it in. Like, even down a man, we still could not just see it out. And we dragged the thing to penalties. Ah, that I'm saying, bro, like, I've not seen any club that can serve up a meal like this. Like, bro, we there was Shaki, Pomo, roundabouts, everything did the plates, man. Then Havertz now missed the pen. Then Zexi now scored the winner. Yeah, cinema. I've not, I've not seen, which is why, like, banter aside, I don't care for the NLD results. I might not even end up watching maybe the first half because I'm gonna be at work. because it just doesn't mean anything. Like it's not going to mean anything in like the
I think the season still has meaning with regards to the league, but obviously you're one loss away from
okay,
like
but the thing is, realistically, right? Let's let's be real. Those front players do not scare me, and I'm not a professional footballer. I know for sure they are not going to scare any other player. Like, do you think we can go into games and keep doing this nonsense game after game after game after game after game?
I said it wasn't sustainable with regards to winning a league. I said that like almost like a quarter way into the season. I'm like, I feel like this method of like relying on such little XG created will ever like achieve any kind of long term success. The only reason I feel like Arteta is not even getting those pelters that guys like Mourinho and Conte and the rest of them were getting is because he's shown good football in recent memory. He's shown that he can be expansive. So I think people were just kind of maybe pretending or wanting to believe that this is just him doing the bare minimum to win certain games. I remember there was a time where Arsenal fans were saying like, "Oh, I mean, what else would you do? You expect 10 men against City? Like, what are we supposed to do? You want us to go and get killed like we used to in the past? Blah blah blah." To me, that's the wrong mentality anyway. If you're meant to be a better team with better quality players, then the style of which you accomplish something shouldn't really change. You should just have better players that can accomplish it more often. Like you're not gonna be like, oh, if you go there with Holding and you sit back and you get a 1-1 draw, fair. You go there with Saliba and Gabriel, two of the best center backs in the world currently, and you sit back and get a draw. I'm not clapping for you. You know what I mean? Because you could play a different style. You could take the game to them. We've seen teams go in there and actually get a result. So for me, I feel like it's the style is not sustainable, and there's one man that is insisting on that style, and he's the manager. That's it. He's the manager. The players have shown that they can play expansive. The same crop of players, the same
That's what I'm
core.
saying. Like it's the same players. It's the same
So
way.
that's why I know a lot of the fans are turning on Odegaard and they're turning on this guy, turning on that guy. And for me, I'm just like, I don't blame any of the players. It looks like they're following every instruction to the T. It just looks like the instructions are bad. And at the end of the day, like, there's only so much you can do, right, as a player. If you're running into blind alleys, you're unaware of the decision making. The set pieces only involve like 3 or 4 people anyway, so the rest of the guys are just decoys. It's just I just feel like that's not the way to really get the team up for games. Versus when Arsenal were winning with that expansive style, every game felt huge, right? Like everybody was involved and the whole team knew kind of what the game plan was. I don't know. I don't have time for players blaming because I'm just like, nah, this is the man.
My Shayla. I remember when my team was scoring remember the time, first 15 minutes, it was an Arsenal thing. But we'll blitz you the first 10 minutes, get a quick
Yep,
goal.
yep.
Take me back, man. How do I
And
Adams, what's the name of your set piece coach?
you know,
Bro, no, bro, I know my set piece coach by name. Because for some reason that's the only way to score.
Nico Nico Hover. And the funny thing is, he's another person, right, as a big loser in all of this because now guys have sussed out that guy. You don't have any cookies, man. You just have Saka.
No, it's not Saka. To be honest,
The
they
guy was the guy was about to get a new job off of this. They're
hey
about to hire
man,
Portsmouth or something.
hey man, Saka and his folks, if I'm them, you people should start buying the boats in Dubai, start buying everything, man. Money is coming. That Saka contract extension.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
do you know what is bad? It's not even I'm not even worried about us. It's so clear how good Saka is now that Omo teams are gonna be coming,
Of course.
teams
And
are
see,
gonna be coming.
and this is
Not leaving.
this this is the thing that a lot of people like ignore about young teams is I don't think all the stars are going to want to stay for a rebuild
Yeah.
or for the struggle.
Saliba looks like someone that's about to leave too.
Man, they should go, man. Please, me, I'm all for go where you can go. It's your career at the end of the day. This club, the only thing I will blame a player for is if you do the whole Van Persie thing, right? Don't come and lie to the fans. If you are going to go, just be like, Omo, I've tried here. I want a fresh challenge because Saka is just like the whole Trent thing. Like, man, you have to just pay the guy, bro, because you've seen the quality. Maybe
Wait,
Trent
didn't this
might
guy
be
just
not.
sign a new contract like when last season or something?
Yeah, he did an extension. But I'm saying when the next extension comes, I
So,
think in like 2 years.
I think even before that extension, I think he's going to be having conversations because
Yes,
he's
I
going to be like,
think.
hey, listen,
Why is
I can go to Barcelona, I can go to friggin'
you
I
can
can
go anywhere? Because I'm
I
looking at guys like
Bayern, yep.
I'm looking at guys like Havertz, Jesus. These are the high end earners of this team, and really, they are not contributing how
that
much they
Havertz
are worth.
one,
Now, bro,
some questions needs to be asked.
And that's why that's why I don't agree with the protective way that they were like, bro, this guy is a high earner. Like just
nah,
put him put him to the same standard. Put
yeah,
him to the same standard that
Teta,
everybody else that's the highest earner is put.
Teta has to hold, man. Teta has to
He
hold.
has to. And the
He
thing
has
is,
to hold for that.
with the Chelsea reject pipeline, right? It's just like this thing has never worked. There's no one instance where it's worked
He,
ever.
he has to hold, man.
You keep going back to the same well. I don't get it.
He,
It's honestly it just feels like the whole club, right, are just making some silly mistakes.
but they're just making
Recruitment is making silly
go
mistakes.
backwards, man. Like
Bro, it's
I watch, I
when you're on
watch.
the precipice of greatness like that, that's why I see fans are more angry than before.
Man,
Under Wenger is like, we
right
want to be
here.
great. We want to be good. We want to be good. We want to be good. That's a different battle. When you're good and you want to be great, that's the most annoying because you take one step backwards and it's like you're irrelevant. Because that's how fine the margins are at the top of the tip top.
Yes. Yeah, you can't. Me, I'm not. Which is why when they were talking about, they were comparing us to Pochettino Spurs. I say, guys, drop the gun. Don't disrespect Kane and Son like that, man. Please, 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 please. No, bro. If they drop Adams, if they drop the 18-19 Tottenham and this current Arsenal, who are you picking?
No,
If you say 18-19 Spurs, that wasn't really our peak
Oh, no,
anyways.
okay, like
but this is not
16,
this
17.
isn't the
17, 18,
Even
probably.
even
this
16,
isn't
17, where
the
people finish second. You guys had 86 points.
No, 16, 17, we were third. That was the Leicester season, no? Oh
No,
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 that was 17.
even
That
before
was 15.
the Chelsea,
Yeah,
the Conte season, you guys had
yeah, that was
86
15,
points.
16. Yeah,
One is just we only survived 1 year of real exciting footy, and now
right.
watching our striker not be able to strike the ball, like that's just the one thing I think that is even annoying me out of the whole thing. The people that can't even strike. At least with Trossard, remember when Trossard was the guy that we know when he's on, he was almost like our Walmart version of Jota.
Right.
Give him one chance, he's just gonna score. But now the guy,
But that's why that's not sustainable. And I remember like credit to guest and frequent well a one time guest of the show Nugua. That's one thing he's always said about Trossard, right? Is like the goals cover up the stinkers, and it's like that's like you almost don't want to say that because the object of the game is to score goals, obviously. But when goals are covering up stinkers like that, it's like that's not sustainable because when the goals dry up, all that's left is stink.
yeah.
nah, he
So,
is smelling. Ah, yeah,
but
it's going to be interesting.
yeah, with the Arsenal thing, man, listen, it's one of those things where this is why we play the games because before the season started, you couldn't have told anybody anything about what this team was going to accomplish, etc. Blah blah blah. But that's why you play the games. That's why we go through the season, and the way that the season is going right now it's looking kind of peak. It's looking like another wasted season, and I don't know that many Arsenal fans can really like accept that from this team.
Yeah,
But
the fan base is on E right now, man. Two
they're at a tipping point.
2% health. Adams, I was seeing Oba and Laka highlights, man, on my TL. That's how I know that things are peak.
Yeah. Hey man. It's like you have anything to say about your Spurs.
I think Spurs. I mean, we're a cup team now, right? It's interesting, right? I mean, what else? I don't think we've done anything worth of note in the league. The one thing I will say is this new goalkeeper. Hey, listen, I was on my feet and I was a round of applause. Round of applause. This new goalkeeper
No,
is
against who?
moving.
Against that team that was playing on that field.
No, no, no. This was
Yeah,
against Liverpool. What
no.
are you talking about?
Oh,
His debut was against
yeah, yeah,
Liverpool,
yeah, yeah.
the best team in the world. Yeah, no, I don't care. No, that Tamworth game, I didn't even watch. I fell asleep. I did. I if you couldn't pay me enough to watch a front three of Verna, Brennan Johnson, and my boy Mikey Moore. You know, what I mean, it's still a little rough around the edges, but Verna as striker and Brennan Johnson,
Venom, man.
not interested.
Bro,
Now that guy,
yo, how do
Chelsea
you,
have done.
bro,
Chelsea
how do you
has
win
done.
Champions League with that guy? I still don't get it.
Now, how
Just
do you guys win one with Havertz, man? How did he score the winning
That
goal?
man,
bro, Havertz and Verna in their front three with Mount. Like, no, honestly, they need to build a statue for Tuchel, bro. Forget. You are talking about statues. Tuchel needs a
And
statue.
you know this,
Dukes, that
this
front
is what
three,
makes it. Also, I don't know how me and
that
you have
front
done
three
it
in
this long, bro.
2024, that front three in 2024, they can do
Nah, they will
triple
not
double
beat
o seven.
Enyimba, bro. They will not beat Enyimba that first three. That's how I don't know how me and Uzo
yeah,
can keep
Vera.
doing this. I don't know how we can keep. Because at least Chelsea,
Hey,
they've smelled, but look at what they won, bro. That season, Frank was talking like the team could not even beat Sunderland, and they dragged, bro. Havertz scored the most awkward looking game winner ever.
And you know the funny thing is that goal was actually sick. That's the crazy thing,
Bro, it
bro.
was a bad touch.
The mount pass,
The
the
mouth
touch,
pass, the bad
the
touch.
chip.
but
Like,
I
bro,
used
what?
to always respect him for that goal until he moved to Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah,
and that's another thing that
I
Havertz was. This is my thing with having. I said this last year. Like him turning on the Chelsea fans and like doing the whole thing. It's like, I mean, it's bold, and if it works, it works, right? Like Adebayo or whatever. Adebayo did that and didn't do anything. I mean, it's just like it's the same thing. It's like you did all this other, and it's like if it ends with Arsenal fans now, you know, this is not no joking matter, of course. Like insulting your wife, wishing your baby dead. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you,
did that. For,
yeah, I mean,
you
like
did that for them.
it's
Yeah,
because all
Oh
fans
man,
are the
when
same.
he
All
was
fans are
going
it's bad,
toxic.
wait,
bro.
why are we acting like he was not getting flogged by by
No, no,
Chelsea?
no, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
he was
It's
doing
the
stuff,
same
and
across.
he
Yeah,
still
it's the
had that in
same.
the bank, though. He still had that goal in the bank. Like
Guy,
every time he
and
scored him, guys would
the
be
guy
like,
needs to go
"But he
to
scored that goal."
Düsseldorf, man.
Like, okay,
Bro, he needs to go to Germany. That guy was getting flogged by people remember every week. They were
Even
flogging
bro.
the guy.
even the German fans
Let's
don't
not
want this guy.
pretend, bro. Please. Let's not pretend like they were
No, no, no,
they
no, no,
feel like
no,
we even
no,
cuddle him more than Chelsea do.
no, no,
He has
no.
so much to hear.
No, Chooks, my thing was him creating that kind of like rivalry. Is like it can backfire because if you then don't go on to like back it up with any
No,
meaningful
like they
silverware,
did.
it looks
Arsenal
bad.
fans don't care about you. Exactly.
That's what I'm
Ah,
saying.
man.
Yeah.
But I say Chelsea fans don't either. The guy is
And
an
so, like,
orphan.
exactly.
He's an orphan. Now, I don't know how you guys did it, but to be honest, banter aside, I'm really rooting for Ange, man. And I'm not even rooting for him as player. I want Tottenham, like I'm going to celebrate a Tottenham trophy. It's just there's just something about saying what he said, right? And I don't care if it's the Carabao Cup. There's just something about saying what he said and him winning that trophy that is just going to be so interesting to me.
He needs to do it.
What's so funny is people acting like we're almost in,
No,
as
no,
if we don't have
no,
to
I'm
go
saying
to Anfield.
if right,
If, man,
like
if.
because bro,
But
you guys would have
you guys will
slayed.
have players back by then now. It's a month
No, no,
from now.
but Uzo, wait, man. You people would have slayed City, United, Liverpool, and Newcastle. The Newcastle is your big. I think the Newcastle game is a harder game than going to Anfield, man. Those Newcastle guys know they just have people's number. You beat all those teams. Ah, Ozempic should give Ange lifetime
Ozempic, nah, that's funny. That is
Ozempic
absolutely
could give
funny.
Ange lifetime employment. What? That Carabao? Nah,
Ozempic is crazy work.
actively rooting for Ange. Like I'm actively rooting. I don't care, and I know how it will be on Twitter. It's going to be nasty strays being thrown left and right at Arsenal. But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I am rooting for Ange, man.
You
I don't even
you
care
better
about.
believe it. You
Yeah,
better
no,
believe
bro.
that it's gonna be.
Bro, the thing is, we have to hold this club. This club has not done anything important in 20 years, so we need to keep holding. Because truly, one thing Turkish did say that I actually agree with is Haaland was kind of right, man. How we finishing second place. You've not won any important trophy, and you have fans moving around, man, talking about combined XI with So we treble
But,
winner.
but, we,
Dude,
but people were saying that the left hand side of Marino, Martinelli, and Calafiori is reminiscent of the left hand side of Prime Barcelona. Like, bro, what is
No,
this?
I saw
What is this?
someone sent me the combined 11 with the 0708, and I was like, bro, please, man, like,
It's
can we?
nuts.
What
It's
what we
nuts.
what we do here? Like the team has not won
don't
anything.
act
Like
like Chooks did come up here trying to
no me
compare with that. With
me Saka Hive, Saka Hive. I'll take it anywhere. Clearly now we've seen. People are
Saka.
talking about Hazard to my boy. Stop that. Stop that.
All right, all
You
right,
see,
all
you
right,
see what we say that.
all right, all right. But to be fair, if
Bro,
anybody has
I'm telling
benefited,
you, man.
if anybody has benefited more from this
Yeah,
collapse, man,
Saka,
Saka
hey,
definitely.
Saka, like, yeah.
bro,
Saka's lore is just growing more and more.
and the guy has stepped into that
They
that
rescue
league.
my boy, man. I can't wait for Tuchel, man. Tuchel in England. Bro, don't worry. We'll get something. We'll get something in 2026. We'll get something with my boys, man. Don't worry.
Hey man, another season trophyless. Rah, summer will be long. Thank God there's no competition this summer. I don't want to see. Now I really hope Bukayo Saka does not kick ball till next season. He can't.
No.
Don't bring him
Yeah,
back.
but I agree with you. If you somehow crash out of champs, right, and you're like 14 points off the title, which I mean that's steep. By the time he's getting ready to come
Like,
back,
he's coming back when? Next month.
I'm gonna say March. The guy he tore his hamstring. He had surgery. He's not gonna come back in what 6 weeks. That's like a 12 week. I'll be shocked if they even bring him back in March. But that hamstring thing, let it heal because something that can come back if you don't allow
Hey,
it to
man,
heal
let it heal,
fully.
man. I need my boy World Cup here next year. I beg. Please, I don't want no
So
excuse.
like you don't go and watch China.
Let him win. Let him win. Let him heal. Let him heal.
What does
2026.
what does Ola have for us now on Tuesday? Hey man, Adams, Forest, title contenders.
No, no, I don't want that team to good Champions League. Please, no, no,
Bro, I can't lie to you.
no.
See,
We can't.
seeing
We
Ola
cannot do
Aina
that.
sagging his knicker in Champions League is what I need. I need Forest to go to Champions League.
nah, we can't have that. I think the Premier League has sent a lot of strange teams to the. It's enough. Honestly, United, Chelsea, Tottenham, look inwards.
Please,
We all need to look
like, I don't
inwards,
care
bro.
who gets in. No,
Hey
no.
bro, you
We've all three
Oh,
of
yeah,
us
we
have
fell off.
allowed
Yeah, we fell off.
we've allowed some
No, 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 no,
atrocities
no.
to
Don't put me on
happen.
that list. Don't put me on that list.
You're on that list, bro. You're on that list. You're on that list. You're definitely on that list.
you guys you guys want to send Morello and Dominguez uh, and Elanga with Ola Aina
Please,
behind the Champions.
please. I beg of you. I beg of you.
Wow.
let this
Now
not
No,
happen.
we can't
Nuno,
let that
phase one Nuno is in the title race, man.
happen.
God have mercy,
And Nuno was at Spurs, couldn't do nothing.
bro. Phase one Nuno is about to, and the funny thing about teams like this, right? I'm thinking of Villa last year, even Newcastle when they did it. Nah, their confidence, whether they win or lose, is so high that playing Forest is going to be such a difficult
Now
game
Liverpool
because
is playing them this midweek.
yeah, that game will be so hard, bro. Because they don't really care if they win or lose, man. They are just
And
flying.
they're the only team to win against them too this season. Premier League.
Yeah, that one is going to be one of those games. But because me, TBH and Liverpool, man, what am I worried about? The teams behind me are not going to do anything. Look at that dark horse and regular horse.
Now,
I
just
don't want to do anything.
that person, man. We're finding ourselves. But I'm seeing some crazy transfer. We're trying to sign Guhi. We're trying to sign some crazy guys. Bro, all I just want is just get me champs. That's all. Just get me to Champions League. I don't care.
Yeah, this his foot injury might
Now
this
you
his
guys
foot
have to
injury
sign
might
someone, man. Look, we have we
might
have
be what we need.
we have 60 players. We might have one for you.
Adams, haven't you done enough?
We might have
Haven't you?
one for
To
you.
be honest, I'm actually not kidding. If we sign one more Chelsea player, I think that is what will make me fully stop watching football. I'll go and watch La Liga because there's no way one team. It's just I'm just realizing how
Like, you guys
United, United
were
and Arsenal
aggressive.
saved you guys last year.
We sold Mount to United too.
Now Chelsea have committed
Spurs are the
so
smartest
many
teams.
atrocities,
Spurs are the smartest. They just don't do business with Chelsea. They know because they
but we still ended up with Werner.
no,
On top not doing
you didn't get it
business
from
with
us.
them.
You didn't get it from us. That
Well, you got you anything from the poisonous tree of Chelsea, stay away. If I that Bernard Johnson that you guys were interested in, we should have known.
I swear, man. No, no,
Please
how do you guys to go on
no,
him?
Adams, Adams, be real. Imagine Bernard Johnson in that Chelsea team.
No, no,
They would have insulted his mother,
I swear.
his
Nah,
aunt, his
he won't
grandmother.
cook. He won't be cook. Nah, there's no way. Cook.
Because if you think it's his aunt sister that is even saving him and giving him those tappings in Chelsea, where there's greedy guys like Nonimajo, okay, you won't see any tapping.
Oh,
all your all your goals, you have to go
you
hustle
have to
for
work
it
for your
from
goals,
the
man.
grave.
Jackson. See the way they are flogging Jackson.
Man, Jackson is getting flogged, bro. That's what happens when you're pompous, though. Once you open your mouth, guy, they start dragging you, man, to the market square.
Now,
You guys,
is shameless, man.
you guys treat
Came out
Jackson very.
after. Mikel is shameless.
Miguel is just like me, bro. I love it. You know what we do? Chooks? You know when you're so quick to give props after you're wrong because you know deep down that you're going to be right.
Get him again.
You not say fair play. If he keeps doing that, I'll give him all the praise, and then you bide your time and you wait.
That's
every every
that's
every day for
that's
the team.
every good hitter, man. But no, to be honest, I feel like Jackson suffers from what a lot of men that look like him
I know
suffer
I
from.
know what
He's
it's
just not
called.
attractive. But I'm saying he's just not attractive, man. Like, and the thing is, it's not even about him being like beautiful or anything. Like, you just watch him, right, and you're not moved. I would even put him in that Bernard Johnson harvest tier.
Nah.
For real, Adams, like,
Please,
I look at him
please,
and I don't know if I should be scared or if I should not be.
please,
No, but
please,
Adams,
please.
the objective.
Put
If you were,
must have.
if you were an opposition, if you are going to face Chelsea today, are you scared of Nicholas Jackson?
Of course,
I feel like you're just saying that.
of course, man.
Nah, I honestly feel like you're just saying that.
Now I see
There's
what you mean,
nothing
though. I
to
see
that.
what you
There's
mean.
nothing to that he suffers from because once you're not feared, you don't have that respect from like
Like I can say the same thing about Solanke too. I don't think Solanke nobody like.
But I'm saying yeah, but I'm saying no one puts him in those conversations now. If you say with Solanke, I can kind of see it. But with Nico, I feel like he gets judged so unfairly, especially for how hardworking he is.
He does.
And again, I think it's just a thing of the Chelsea fans are just you guys are used to a lot of success, so they need him to score every single game. Like sometimes I will see some of the critique he gets. I'm like,
That's why I'm like we need goals from other sources. Like we need our wingers to step up. Neto them. I remember when Noni was scoring. Chicks, not Chicks. Uza said the guy probably scored all his goals this season. Yeah? You know,
the guy scored everything he could score. He's not scoring again.
nah, but we need those guys, man. Sancho, bro, please, just shoot, man. Score goals. I already know our midfielders. I'm talking about Enzo. Enzo, I think Enzo has done okay in terms of goal scoring this season, but Caicedo is not going to score you goals. And we don't have the luxury of, corner kicks like Arsenal. Our defenders are not going to score. Cucurella might score everyone now and then, but man, we need goals from other sources. Palmer, we can't always keep the load on Palmer. Bro, the guy already has 13 goals. Jackson is trying. He's not the most clinical.
Palmer
We need
has tried.
somebody else to step up. We need guys to get goals, man. We need guys to score 5, 3, 4. Yeah, we need other guys to score goals. Chooks, any last words before we wrap up this episode?
Man, it's for the younger fans, man. Pick the team you choose to support wisely, because that's all I have to say to wrap up. As a young man, pick the team you want to support wisely, because some teams win and some teams don't. And
Some teams win, some teams make excuses.
yeah, you end up making excuses the whole time than just saying that your team is just not good enough, your club is not good enough. So I guess we just have to watch. The transfer market has not really moved. I remember last January it was very dull. Since this whole the way they have been looking at how people spend money started, it's been
But
the January windows have been very slow.
but guys, though, like you don't think there's anything that changes it for changes turns Arsenal season.
Is if you donate your hamstring to Saka, I don't know how healthy your hamstrings are. That's the only thing that can. Adams, the thing is, truth be told, there's no quality up top. And that's not something you can change.
But
Like,
you remember there was a part that Uzo said something. He said it's either the players are that good or the coach is just very good. I'm talking about Ateta.
is
So
is is all the coach. The only reason why like I feel like Ateta should get flogged is him that brought the attacking players. He didn't inherit them. When you know what this team is, like it's like when he talks about Isak, right? When he was talking about that Isak, the goal Isak scored, or even the assist Isak had. That's what we need. Like that striker that can, that can even furthermore expand the forward lines. But there's no quality. We don't have any good finisher up top. Literally, there's no one in that front in the front
but what's the
front
difference
four.
between what you have now and what you had last season? You had
Saka was playing. I'm saying now that Saka is out, there's no one else. Like when Saka plays,
he opens up.
what Saka is.
Yes.
If you notice now, they don't even double us on the wings anymore. That's another thing too that a lot of people are forgetting that those doubles sometimes you see three people chasing Saka. it ain't there no more. So now you can really stop the middle. Martinelli 1v1 is might as well not even
Nah, I saw
aligned to the 1v1.
Martinelli versus Ahmad today, man. I'm like, what?
So yeah, like without Saka, respectfully, nobody is drawing the attention of the whole defense. So now you can really, really like focus on just playing 1v1. And everybody knows 1v1 when it works is the best way to defend because you don't have to worry about the person next to you. You just know, yeah, they have somebody. If the team is serious, this window, I won't lie to you. Someone like Mbuemo, he should be here by tonight. Go and get you an Mbuemo, maybe a Semenyo. Go and get a 1v1 specialist that can somewhat replicate what Saka was doing, and you go from there. But I know the team is not going to do it because they've already said, you know how they talk now, flirting, watching, checking the status. We're not going to sign anybody. So yeah, you just have to just wait till Saka comes back.
Okay, predictions for the midweek games. NLD.
NLD, right? I've been leaning strongly towards 0-0, but I'm going to go 1-0 Arsenal. I just feel like I don't see more than one goal in that game though. I just both teams are in nasty, nasty form right now.
I think
And I feel like Arsenal need it bad enough that like even some of the gaps that you see they gave United, I don't think we'll get any of those gaps. Um I feel like Arteta is going to be even more risk averse than normal because he now knows that like the league is all they have truly, right? The league, Champions League, all eggs in that basket. So I feel like he knows that this result is like very, very massive because it's one result that can easily turn the feeling and the vibe of the
Yeah,
season, right?
yeah.
If they go there and they flog us 4-0, right? And I don't know, do we play before Liverpool? I think we played before Liverpool, right, Chooks?
after the Liverpool on Tuesday, this game is a Wednesday game.
So say Liverpool go and drop points again, right? Which is not out of the realm of possibility because they've got their own issues. Say they go and drop
They're
points
playing
and
Forest
then
too.
Arsenal respond with like a 3-4-0 thumping of their neighbors. That's something I can easily all this
It's
doom
all
and gloom.
about
You see
football.
Chooks will come back here now, he's shaved his beard. He'll be a new man acting like he never said any of these things. So we know how football is like it's a quick turnaround. So for me, I think a lot of the vibes at Spurs right now have kind of been completely overhyped. Like we've had one good result, really, in my opinion, and that was the result at Liverpool. I mean, against Liverpool. And besides that, okay, we got robbed at Newcastle. We probably deserve more from that game, but in reality, we're on a slide in the league. We're on a landslide. We just went to extra time with Tamworth, which is a non-league team. So the vibes are confusing. People are taking that Liverpool performance as if it's more than what it actually is, right? And it's a tournament that we're not fully even qualified for because that can be completely undone. So yeah, I don't think I think people kind of have a weird feeling that things have turned around at Spurs. Things are great. But it's like then you look at the results, you're like, oh no, they're not great at all. It's not like we're getting any players back. The goalie looks great, cool, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's one of those ones where we're just catching them at the wrong time. They need the result too badly. They've had too many disappointments, and the disappointments come in threes, so we're going for the fourth. But yeah, I don't see any victory for Spurs. I think the best we can hope for is a draw, and I feel like if we're to get a draw, it'll be a goalless draw. That's just what my hunch has been for the game for like the last week or so. I don't see any other way. And if any team can make this Arsenal attack look awake finally, trust Big Ange. Trust Big Ange. Any attackers that are suffering, needing goals, needing confidence, come to the right place, chicks. Don't worry. We'll give you Martinelli hopium. We'll make Sterling look like he really is showing you his
See,
best.
that's coming up against Archie Gray and Dragusin. Is them
Man,
Yeah, but
listen,
these are this. That's the main reason why, like that, this particular copium, I know what will reel me back in, and it's not going to be those players. What will reel me back in is a signing. If we go there and we go win 4-0, everyone knows, man. It's not.
kids,
It's
man. You be telling me
not.
I think a 4-0 win and Liverpool
Yeah,
stuttering, I think that'll do
trust
it,
me,
bro.
it's not. But the
That'll
thing
do it.
is, I know this team, like, and
Because if the league is
I'm
still
telling
there
you
to
the
be
truth.
had,
I'm telling you the truth from the bottom of my heart. I know this team, bro. Liverpool can lose 2 games. Let's say we win the next two. I'm not going to be confident because I know, Uzo, when the pressure is going to, because right now there's no pressure for this not non-derby game. My prediction maybe is like a 3-2 or 2. Because I think we're going to give you guys chances to score. And I think you have a little bit more clinical finishers than us. And we're also going to have chances to
that's
score.
crazy. That's crazy.
Right
That's
now,
crazy.
bro, right now we're going to roll out
no,
Sterling.
they have
Sterling.
Johnson.
But I'm saying, okay, so we're going to
Besides,
roll out Sterling,
besides,
Havertz, and
besides,
Martinelli. Sterling,
if
Havertz, and
you
Martinelli
the
is our
thing is,
attacking
Chooks will
three.
always count Son as a clinical finisher, even no
Okay,
matter what the
okay,
stats say.
okay. Take out Son. So Son is far worse than Martinelli.
Finishing wise, yes.
Okay, Son is worse than
This
Martinelli.
season, yes, he's absolute cheeks.
Son and Havertz
I will say it's cancelled.
cancelled. Sterling, I don't think Sterling has not scored a goal this season. So I don't know if he
He
counts
hasn't
as Son.
played enough though. He hasn't played enough.
Sterling and Brennan Johnson. I'll take Sterling, bro. I'll take Sterling for sure any
Anyway,
day.
whatever,
The only person
whatever
I'm
the
taking
case,
over your attackers is Sri Lanka, bro.
whatever,
And funny enough, I think you drop Sri Lanka into the Arsenal attack, they create more.
whatever the case is, right? I already know, which is why personally, usually for the midweek games, I find a reason to leave work early to go watch it. But I have no interest in the results of this game because I know, like, we need a signing. This is not a win at Tottenham is not going to change the season. Who are we going to sign to elevate this attack? Because Uzo is right. Ange can give us crazy steamy to inject hope back into the bloodstreams of the Arsenal faithful. But deep down we know what we have right now is not enough. But my prediction, I will go 3-2. I see very high scoring. These are two teams that have the same kind of problem. Is they know how to just make another team find ways to score goals. Like, we're gonna give Tottenham. Even remember last year, 3-0 at half. I'm thinking, oh wow, the game is over. I'm cooking with Raya, just gave the ball straight to Romero.
Cooking with Raya.
And next thing, penalties. I'm saying, like, one thing about the NLD that is, if I was interested, I'll watch it just for that reason. Is North London Derby usually is going to have some kind of moment that's just exciting. Like, there's something, but someone is going to make some weird mistake. There's going to be a refereeing decision. But yeah, what is going to give me hope is waking up tomorrow and seeing we've carried Osimhen from Napoli. At this point, so we're gonna bring Boniface for me. So give me anybody.
Take Lukman, man. Don't
Beg me. I
Lukman.
don't have shame.
Boy, look.
I don't get pride. Now, Lookman will not come here, man. Atalanta is gonna collect everything in the bank. But even someone like Lookman, bro, yeah, no, that
Apparently, he has a release
derby,
clause, a very affordable one too.
yeah, the North London derby, I don't know.
I'm taking Lookman all day, bro.
My prediction is 3-2, just like last year.
Interesting. What do you guys think about the Chelsea Bournemouth game?
All right, guys, let's
No, I mean, bro, my
Yeah,
manager,
hola, but
bro.
that game will be hot.
My manager, bro. Listen, Adams, you're about to
Oh,
scout your
okay,
next
well,
manager live and
Wala is
direct.
moving crazy.
Bring
But
out
no,
your
they
LinkedIn
have those
profile, Adams.
injuries now. Their two strikers are cooked.
Who, Bournemouth?
Yeah, they've lost both of their strikers.
Both of those strikers were stinking, anyways.
yeah,
I know now. Evan Nilsson
listen,
was.
Nah, Evan Nielsen, he's not been scoring like that though. He's been industrious, but that's the thing. Good managers, man.
I'm
You
saying
don't need to be analyzing which profile is missing. Just show up, man. They find solutions. I think it's gonna be a difficult game for Chelsea
wait,
for
is
sure.
it
Are you
at
home?
yeah,
Stanford at home?
yeah. We need to
Is at
see.
Stanford? Come on now.
We need.
I mean, Stamford Bridge doesn't really mean anything these
No,
days,
no,
bro.
no,
I'll
no,
be
no.
real.
When they start shaking those gates, stop it. When you start shaking those gates at Stanford, stop. Because no, but to be honest, Adams, one thing I know about sports, right, is as a team that is in a certain category, you can't play bad it's just like with Arsenal too. Like, you can't play bad every single game. You're gonna have that game that is gonna turn around. People have dropped 2 out of 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's only at home.
Now,
You've
yeah,
rested
you
players.
man, but you win, man.
Yeah, it's overdue. This is the game that you have to use and just reset.
Then Forest, Liverpool.
I think Liverpool get that one. I mean, I just don't see them getting points off them back
I don't
twice
think
in
they
the
can
same
they can
season.
do six and six, man.
Well, 6 of 6 is impossible, but I don't even see them getting one. I feel like that has to be a
Yeah,
split.
I really think
But Forest, the way they're playing right now, that mid block, my God, I think they're probably one of the best performing teams in the last 10 games or so. So it's definitely not a foregone conclusion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Definitely not a foregone conclusion. But man, that's a massive game in the title hopes, massive.
All right, boys. I think we come to the end of the show. Thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys on the next one.